We aren't born with insecurities. We're told what to be insecure about. I know. Process that for a second. Okay, now let's fix it. I used to hate the way I looked. I covered my face in every single picture. I wanted a nose job at 11 years old and even asked for one at 15 years old. I always had a filter on because I didn't feel pretty enough, and I always hid myself away out of fear of judgment. Today, I'm not perfect. I have acne. I have the same nose that I used to hate. And nowadays, I even have people criticizing my appearance online, and yet I have never felt more confident. And this is how. In this video, we're really going to be focusing on mastering your self-perception, using mindset shifts to make sure that you're feeling your most confident self, because it's not about changing what makes you feel insecure, it's about using it to your advantage. And right before we get into it, haven't you heard? I'm writing a book. It's called Buy Yourself the Damn Flowers. This is the ultimate guide to achieving radical self-love, and it is packed with every lesson and method I have learned in the last 4 years of my self-love journey. I can't wait for you guys to read it. I also have my podcast, vlog channel, and other socials, but for now, let's get into it. Chapter number 1, mindset shifts to go from insecurity to confidence. To start, I want to give the clearest example of what an insecure versus confident person would say. And to do that, of course, we're going to bring back our fave girls, Lola and Athena. I feel like I'm so behind. I've got all these failures, and yet everybody else my age seems to be winning. It's just not fair. Life is a game, not competition. I haven't achieved any of my goals yet, but that doesn't mean I won't. Plus, my friends' successes are so irrelevant because why would I be looking at somebody else's game board over my own? The only prize I'm able to win is right here on my own game board. Wait, that guy likes me? Okay. No, tell me, how do I start a conversation with him? Yeah, I know he likes me, but I'm not interested. Same with the last dozen guys you showed me. And no, I'm not gonna apologize for rejecting more partners than I accept. Like, is that not just a sign of high self-esteem? Not everyone is meant for us, so why would I say yes to everyone? My high standards protect me from the masses, so of course I'm gonna reject the 99% because I want top 1% treatment. Thanks. Can you take that picture again? My belly looks too big in it. Yeah, that'll do. I only need 1 shot. Why? Because this is my face and this is my body, and you can take 20 pictures or 200 pictures and nothing's gonna change that. You'll see my tummy bloat, my crooked teeth, and my imperfect skin either way. I just accepted that they're all a part of what I look like, and it saves me a lot of time and grief. You see the difference? Okay, now let's move on to the 5 mindset shifts that are gonna help you go from insecure to confident. Step number 1, understand where insecurity comes from. It comes from being told what is good versus bad, and also comparison from everyone around us. And these standards are so stupid, because think about it. When a new trend comes around, then it's the coolest thing to do, everyone wants to do it, and a lot of the times, these trends come about, and the people that did it a couple years before it was popular to do, they got bullied for it. Stuff like putting oil in your hair, stuff like dressing a certain way, embracing a certain makeup trend. It's only acceptable when everyone else decides it's acceptable. There was nothing ever inherently wrong with doing that thing in the first place. There was nothing bad about it. It's all just opinions, and you need to master detachment to get over it. The reason you get insecure is because you value other people's opinions over your own. It's as simple as that. So you need to consciously decide how you feel about a certain thing, whether it's appearance, mindset, personality. Let's take bloating, for example. I always have this little pooch, this little bit of lower belly fat, especially after I eat a big meal. Did you know that 90% of women have that little stubborn pocket of belly fat? Because it's actually there to protect your reproductive organs. It's a natural, normal part of being a woman. Almost every single woman has it. It's functional, and that's what makes me accept it more. I look at it and I'm like, this is just what makes me a woman. There's nothing bad about it. It doesn't mean that I don't have the right body. It means everything's working in the way that it should. Why do I need to have a flat stomach in order to be beautiful? And when you finally start questioning these things and making up your own opinion about things, whether it's bad skin, body weight, you'll feel much more confident because you're not internalizing everybody else's opinions of you. Everybody is always gonna have a complete different opinion. There are some people that think Beyonce and Zendaya are ugly, and others that think they're absolutely gorgeous. Everyone's opinion is invalid, okay? There are always gonna be some people that think the same thing is good versus bad. You are saving yourself so much time and stress by just deciding on your own. Mindset shift number 2. Accept that you will never be perfect. And I'm talking overall, okay? Let's say that technically you fit the beauty standard and you are 100% physically perfectly beautiful. That doesn't mean that you're not still gonna have emotional things that you're working through and a mindset that you need to work on. Human beings are always a work in progress. That's the beauty of life. We're always growing, we're always evolving. There are always things to learn about ourselves and rediscover. You don't know yourself completely yet because you haven't been in every single life situation yet. That is when we discover new parts of our personalities and our mindset and the way we think, and then we can decide if we want to work on them or keep them the same and really grow into who we want to be and create the most ideal version of ourselves. We can't just naturally be perfect right now because we are going to continuously change over the years. If we did all fit a perfect standard, then we'd all be clones of each other. Our imperfections make us who we are. For example, my nose is not technically the perfect, most desirable nose. It's crooked, it's not symmetrical. Sometimes I'll look at pictures and it looks so large and disproportionate to the rest of my face, but I look at it and I'm like, but so what? That's my nose. The key with this step is to embrace all of your ugly parts to the point that you are desensitized to them. If every time you look at your nose and all you really see is this mental image of the skinniest, slimmest, upturned nose that every supermodel with a nose job has, of course you're never gonna accept your nose because you're not actually seeing it for what it is. I don't look in the mirror every single day and manipulate myself into thinking that my nose is perfect and it's the dream one to have, because I know it's not, but that's okay, because imperfect qualities are okay and normal and they don't take away from your worthiness or desirability. With this step, I realized there is literally nothing ever to criticize myself for, because why would I hold myself up against a standard that's based more on what other people look like and therefore literally goes against everything I was born with? In doing that and engaging in that practice, I'm literally telling my younger self that everything she is, how she looks like, is unacceptable. Would you speak to your younger self like that? Would you speak to your child like that? No. So why are you holding yourself up against standards that have nothing to do with who you are or how you look like? It makes no sense. Step number 3, your focus is all wrong. You are insecure because you're choosing to be insecure. First thing in the morning, you go into the bathroom, look in the mirror and start fixating on your skin, on its appearance, how it looks worse than it did the day before. Then you go ahead and you put your outfit on for the day and you look in the mirror and you criticize your body and you think, well, it doesn't look how I imagined it to look, and why does my body not look snatched, and this doesn't compliment me, and I don't have the perfect figure. And you are pulling out all of these little imperfections about yourself when you're doing the most simple activity like getting dressed for the day. Then you go out and you're talking to people and you get upset when an interaction didn't go in the way that you imagined it to. And you thought you were too socially awkward and you didn't speak in the way that you wanted to, or you didn't say what you wanted to, or you felt like you were too quiet or shy, and now you're worrying about what they are going to think about you. Now, at the end of the day, after you didn't meet all of those imagined ideals, you label yourself a failure. Someone who should be insecure, someone who's not good enough. You're a loser, you're ugly, you're imperfect. But from what? Based on what? Rules that you made up? From where? What? Now, imagine your day goes like this instead. You wake up, go into the bathroom, do your skincare, and then you hop straight in the shower. When you're in the shower, you are thinking about and fixating on what you can incorporate into your day to make it a better one, a greater one, to improve your happiness levels 1% more than they were yesterday. What can you do? You're gonna go get a coffee, you're gonna go see a friend, you're gonna call someone, you're gonna put on a cuter outfit, you're gonna spend some time in the sun, you're gonna go and exercise, you're gonna read your favorite book, you're gonna have a movie night. You're thinking about that instead. Now that that's your number one focus, you don't even look in the mirror for more than a minute because your mind is in other places. Then you go to get dressed, you put your outfit on, and while looking at yourself in the mirror, you realize, hey, this is my body. It's just a vessel that holds everything that is important about me. My appearance is actually the least interesting thing about me because I have so much value and worthiness and amazing energy to offer as a human being. Whether my stomach is sticking out in this, or my body doesn't look snatched enough, or I don't look curvy enough, or these jeans don't compliment me, is irrelevant. This body helps me get to places, it helps me move, it helps me live life, it keeps me healthy and alive so that I can experience all of the joy and the blessings that life has to offer. How lucky am I? After you get dressed, you leave the house and you go to an event with a room filled with people and you think, this is a great opportunity to mingle and have some social interaction because it will help me grow as a person, it will help my confidence, especially my social confidence, my skills with talking to other people, which I'm not quite there with yet, but at least I can try just to say that I did it and learn from it. Maybe if I just go up and talk to someone, I'll have the amazing opportunity of having a meaningful conversation with somebody else. And yes, I'm still shy and I might not know what to talk about and there might be an awkward silence, but hey, there's always the chance that I could make somebody else's day better just from having a conversation with them. I could put a smile on somebody else's face and that will be a huge achievement for the day. Can you tell the difference with that second routine of how that person's day went? They finally shifted their focus and their fixations away from themselves and instead on their life, on how they can make it better, on what they can experience and how they can grow and what joy they can grab, on what goals they can achieve, on what life they can experience without worrying if they look good doing it. Now, when trying to shift your focus every single day, it will be hard. Your brain will try to naturally bring back all of those negative thoughts and fixations because essentially it's a habit and that's what's made you insecure. But that's okay. Don't beat yourself up for it, okay? When those thoughts come back, you observe them and then you let them go. That is such a big key in detaching. For example, I have been through this for months. Every single morning, I'll wake up and look in the mirror and my brain will go, oh, look, you have another breakout on your forehead. You still don't have clear skin. And I observe that thought and I go, okay, there's nothing I can do, but me criticizing myself isn't gonna do good for anybody, so I'm gonna hop in the shower and think about how I can have an amazing day instead. Same for when I'm looking at a picture of myself and I have that lower tummy blow, I'm like, okay, my tummy's sticking out. But that means I had an amazing meal and also I've already decided there's nothing bad about that. Step number 4. No one can be better than you because everybody's opinion is invalid. There are girls out there that hate and complain about how small they are, how skinny they are, that no matter what they eat, they still can't gain the weight and they hate their body type. Meanwhile, there are other girls out there who are doing absolutely anything to lose the weight and have the exact same body type of the girls who are trying to get rid of it. How does that make any sense? How can two people with complete different body types be chasing such different ideals and make themselves feel insecure when there are other people that would want exactly what they have? There are so many people out there that will admire exactly what you have. And there are also so many people out there that will hate exactly what you have. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, those two contrasting opinions cancel each other out because your opinion is the only one that actually matters. For example, my first ever boyfriend told me that my shoulders are too wide. You probably can't tell because of the top I'm wearing. But if I was wearing like a body top, they're too wide, they're not feminine enough. It's like a really bad frame for my body type, right? And ever since, every single time I look in the mirror, I notice that about me, that my shoulders are considered too wide. And I had never noticed that about my body before. That is an example of someone else trying to give me and trying to create an insecurity that I hadn't even considered before. But I recognized that and I decided to change my own opinion on it because I also realized that opinion is so invalid. There are so many people out there that like my body type that would never even fixate or focus on my shoulders. So why should I focus on what anybody else has to say about me, whether it's an insult or complimentary? Even the more focus that you give to people that are complimenting you, the more power you are giving to those that are going to insult you and try to bring you down. The focus here is to detach from other people's opinions as a whole, whether they're good or bad. Also, just a quick note, only the most insecure, empty, shell of a human being, sad, pathetic people will find the time and energy to try and bring you down and create insecurities for you. So remember that. And finally, the 5th mindset shift. Stop identifying with the insecure version of you. This is probably the most important step. When I started university, I had a huge glow up over the summer, okay? I got contact lenses, I got rid of my braces and my glasses, I learned how to do my makeup, I got hair extensions, I changed my whole wardrobe, I was feeling myself, I looked a lot cuter than I did in school. And guess what? It worked. I went to uni, I got so much attention. Every boy I liked me back. Everybody wanted to be my friend. People would compliment me left, right, and center. I was like, whoa. People consider me to be beautiful. People want to date me. People want to hang around me. People want to learn how I do my makeup. This is insane. And it was insane because I had gone through 7-8 years of school where nobody ever liked me back. I was called ugly. I was made fun of. No one wanted to hang out with me. It was just several years of rejection. And then I had a glow up and I got everything I wanted. And despite getting all of that attention and validation, I still felt the same inside. I still felt so painfully insecure. I had still internalized all of the previous negative opinions that everybody had of me, but now I just had some added vain energy and shallowness because I started making my appearance the most important part about me because I was still fixating on other people's opinions of me. And so to fix this, I had to give myself a rebirth, to distance myself and no longer associate myself with the past version of me. The way to do this is so simple. It's just a mindset shift. And I still do this to this day. Every single morning I wake up, I think this is the first day of my life. And do you know how much of a beautiful way of thinking this is? Because think about it. If every day you wake up and you're like, this is the first day of my life, every single day of your life gets better because you are waking up and you are not thinking of your past. You are only thinking about what you can bring into that day, but you are waking up with additional wisdom, skills, and lessons from all of the days prior. Who would you be if you woke up into your life today with all of the amazing things you've learned and all of the amazing things that have made you who you are without harboring all of the baggage from the past. You would move very, very differently if you didn't have past opinions, haters, insecurities holding you back. As a result, I've leveled up so much that the people from my past don't even know me anymore. Like, I'm not that person in the slightest, so what they have to say about me is irrelevant. I have instead shifted to who I want to be, which is my alter ego, which is the most confident version of myself. And there are a few ways that I did this. One is imagining myself as the most confident version and then doing things in my day that she would do so that I can align to that version even more, but also little things that are distancing from my past. For example, I changed my name. My name right now that everybody knows me as is Tam Kaur. Kaur is actually my middle name. I got rid of my last name because all throughout school, everyone called me by my first and last name. My first name is actually Tamana. Got rid of that, shortened it to Tam Kaur. No one ever knew me as that. As soon as I made that my name and my kind of persona on social media, it helped me shift away from who I used to be. Same with changing my appearance temporarily. I'm always about have a glow up, but not in the sense that because your appearance is the most important thing about you and you need to do it to impress others, but because this is a fun little avatar to play with and to express yourself. Try some different clothing, try a different hairstyle, try a different makeup look just for the fun of it so that you can step into the newest version of yourself. And the same goes for the kind of life I live. My daily routine, everyone around me, the habits that I do are so far from who I used to be. How could I ever identify with that past version of myself? And that leads us onto chapter number 2, lifestyle shifts to get you to ultimate unbreakable confidence. The first lifestyle shift is to normalize your insecurities by shifting your consumption. When I was really struggling with my appearance and having certain ethnic features, I used to make Pinterest boards of people who had that appearance. So I would make one board of models who embraced their body type that looked a lot like mine, and that helped me really accept it and see the beauty in it, because if they can struggle with it, why can't I? I made another for Indian and Bollywood actresses who had a similar nose shape to me and never got surgery, because then it helped me embrace my own more. Same with women who had similar hair color and skin color to me, and I could just admire the beauty in them, and that's what helped me admire the beauty back in myself. Because if I was always looking at social media influencers with blonde hair and blue eyes, nothing wrong with them, but they're the complete opposite of me. And if my consumption is always fixated on them, or photoshopped models in magazines with complete different body types, of course I'm gonna feel bad about myself because I'm never seeing anybody who looks like me. TikTok is so great for this. If you type in body positivity, you're gonna get so much confidence that's gonna make you feel like the baddest bitch. Same goes for acne. I have followed a lot of skincare experts who don't fixate on this thing of like acne makes you ugly or you need to get rid of it no matter what. Of course, we are all working towards clear skin if that is your goal. However, if it's gonna be with you right now, if it's on your face right now, why would you waste time feeling bad about it? Instead, you got to learn to love yourself with it on your face regardless, because it doesn't define who you are. It's such an insignificant part in all of the amazing pieces of what makes you, you. And when I saw other people embracing their acne, coming online, no makeup, showing their acne, showing acne-friendly makeup, it normalizes having it, and then you can stop criticizing yourself for having it as if you are failing at life and you are not beautiful enough and everybody else can do this one thing and you can't. Lifestyle shift number 2, this is so important. Stop reasoning with the insecurity. For example, sending your selfie to your group chat before you post it on social media to see if it's good enough. Asking your friend, does my body look okay? Does this dress make me look fat? No. You are putting your confidence in somebody else's hands, and you are helping the insecurity grow as a result of doing that. You are giving your insecurity all of the attention it wants while not being decisive about your emotions on it. So then the insecurity gets to control you. So I've stepped away from reasoning, and now what I do is I would never ask somebody, oh my God, does my skin look okay? Can you see the acne? I don't know if I should go to that event because my skin doesn't look good. No. I know I have acne, it's bumps on my skin. I can see it in the mirror. I'm not gonna go around asking for reassurance from everybody else. I don't need reassurance. I know exactly what's there. It's definitely not gonna stop me from living my life or to start disliking myself. That's so boring. Are you not bored of criticizing yourself for every single impossible standard you give to yourself? Seriously? You know what? To get really deep on you for a second, I think little things like struggling with your body image, struggling with your skin, thinking that you need to be more extroverted or a different kind of person. All of these little flaws we have are given to us for a reason. I think that they are tools that help us love ourselves more fiercely and more unconditionally. Because if you were perfect all of the time and you had nothing to worry about, and then all of a sudden something was taken from you, how are you gonna know that you will still love yourself on your worst days? If you are being given your worst days right now, I see that as a gift. That means that you can love yourself in any circumstance given. That is unstoppable confidence. Once you master that, and once you can get your head around that flaw or insecurity that makes you ugly, I mean, it doesn't, but you know what I mean, that means you can start going throughout your life, and no matter what is thrown at you, no matter what opinions are thrown at you, you have built up this wall as a result. I think it's the perfect foundation to building real self-love. Not the self-love that most people think they have because they look perfect all the time. They have the dream body. If that's taken away, what do you have? How are you gonna feel about yourself? Lifestyle shift number 3. Achieving goals makes you confident. You think I got time to be insecure, staring at my naked body in the mirror every time before I go into a shower, pointing out all of its flaws? Nah. I am too busy living out my best life as my dream woman. Your emotions are so much more powerful than some mediocre, limiting thoughts that you have just collected as a result of other people's opinions and media consumption. The way you feel though, that is what makes the difference. I live a life that makes me feel like the most confident, ideal version of myself. So I can't associate myself with insecurities because I don't live a life that aligns to them or even entertains them. For example, if you don't step out of your comfort zone and you just simply tolerate the life that has been given to you, of course you have more time to start associating your sense of self to what other people think about you, because you're not already actively creating the most ideal version of yourself. This then links into your portfolio of proof, which is a major element in building unbreakable confidence. This concept is basically about trying new things, so the next time you doubt yourself or minimize your worth to something so insignificant like your appearance, your body type, your popularity, your status, your success, you can then remember all of the self-respect, resilience, strength, and lessons that you've gathered from every single goal you've achieved, no matter how big or small. For example, with me, my confidence has grown with every new project that I have started. For example, that's why I've literally written a whole book that's being published. But first, it was YouTube. YouTube scared the hell out of me, but the more I did it, the more comfortable and confident I felt with it. So then I moved on and I started a podcast. And that whole creation process scared me because I'd never done anything like that before. I kid you not, it took me like 4 days to figure out how to use a microphone. But then I conquered it, and it added to my portfolio of proof of my confidence, of my self-perception, all of these ideas and memories to reference in my head the next time I feel bad about myself, because I'm like, hey, I did that and that and that and that and that. I am that girl. Lifestyle shift number 4. Only associate yourself with confident, authentic people. Listening to certain books, podcasts, even watching YouTube videos, following certain influencers that spoke about achieving goals and what their personal preferences are and how they live their life and their routines showed me how much more there is to life than your appearance. How much better I could get at thinking and living, because hey, even if you're not insecure about your appearance, maybe it's you want to work on your social confidence or learning a certain skill, then go out and learn it. Do yourself that favor. Or you can watch content out there that's reassuring, that validates the fact that you might be shy, you might be quieter, and that is completely okay. There's nothing wrong with that. When I was following every celebrity on social media and keeping up with their lives, when I was following beauty influencers, watching reality TV, there was something new to get or have every single day. I was Googling waist trainers online. I was being sold slimming teas on Instagram. I was considering Botox and dyeing my hair because that is all that I was seeing in my world of consumption. Now, all I hear is wellness practices. I learned how to love myself more, how to own my authenticity, how to build my dream life, how to hold myself accountable. There are all these goals and new things that I'm trying out every single day. My appearance is the last thing that comes to my mind. These kinds of people are so focused on their growth, they don't critique who they are, their personality. They focus on living better. They focus on growth and happiness. And now I'm a better person as a result, because every single day my focus is on how can I become a more intelligent person? How can I be mentally stronger, more emotionally resilient? And I do all of that for the fun of it, for the life experience, for the journey, not for the validation. And finally, the 5th lifestyle shift is build your own confidence routine. There is so much magic in the routines and the habits that you carry out every single day, and that is what helps you shift your identity from someone who is chasing other people's approval and is fixating on a few insecurities they have to someone who doesn't even pay attention to it because it does not matter. An example of something you can implement into your confidence routine is doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. Simple as. If you tell yourself, tomorrow I need to be at the gym at 8 a.m, you better take yourself there. Because otherwise you start to live a life where you only prioritize other people's schedules and other people's time over your own. Because you'll make it to class on time, you'll make it to work on time, you'll make it to your appointment on time. But when you tell yourself, this is the time I'm scheduling for me time, for my solo date, for my gym, for my studying session, you won't do it. That's when the boundaries and the lines get blurred. That's what you get to ignore. Then where is the self-respect? So yes, even sticking to the times you tell yourself is now a very personal task, because every single time you decide to ignore that, you're basically telling yourself you're not worth that time. You're not worth that commitment. You're not worth that discipline. Setting boundaries is another great confidence building tool. I would say try to build the habit of trying to say no to at least one person once a week. I actually have a full guide on how to set boundaries, examples of how you would say boundaries on my channel, so you can check that out, because truly these smaller steps are what helps build the bigger picture of unbreakable confidence. Another example of your confidence routine is to honor your needs. You don't need to embrace hustle culture, okay? If you need a break, you're gonna take it, because you don't care if someone else was to look at you and think that you're lazy or you're not working hard enough. It doesn't matter, absolutely irrelevant. And that's when you allow yourself to start engaging more in self-love and taking care of yourself and building this relationship with yourself than worrying about what other people are gonna think. Exposure therapy is probably the most important part of a confidence routine. Stuff like trying to talk to a new person every single day, whether it's your barista at your favorite cafe, whether it's a stranger that you opened a door for in a restaurant, stuff like going on a solo date, stuff that basically makes you nervous and scares you. If you are already solo dating because you've been here for a while, then take it up a notch. Go to a concert alone. Go to a fancy romantic restaurant alone. The purpose of this is to minimize the impact that other people have on you, so that you can get more comfy with your self-validation instead. Because the more times that you embrace your cringe, the freer that you will be, because you have desensitized yourself to those things. The more you hide yourself away, live in fear, worry about what other people are gonna say, the more it will have control on you for the rest of your life, because you haven't even faced the fear yet. You haven't even done something to prove it wrong and to prove how insignificant and invalid it is. Okay, you're gonna go to a restaurant, sit there alone and think that, oh my God, everyone's looking at me and judging me. But you go do it, you leave, and instead you think, I survived. Everything was okay. Now I can go do it again. And the fear is then destroyed. Practicing gratitude is another crucial step in your confidence routine. I would also say tracking your progress as well. I love to have like a digital diary, or to record a little video or a voice memo to look back on of everything I did today that was a win, no matter how big or small. Did I have a good day today? Did I nourish my body today? And that way you are really always checking in with yourself. You are your own biggest motivator, and you can also see how much you're growing and improving every single day. It gives you more things to feel good about. I would also say shadow work journal prompts are so important. If you were to Google shadow work insecurity prompts, that would help you so much to really defeat all of these insecurities with logic and get behind the causation of them, so that you can finally get rid of them. And finally, the last part of building a confidence routine is to spend time with uplifting people, whether it be your friends, family, books, podcasts, you name it. And finally, chapter number 3, 5 actionable steps for the homework chapter that you can implement today to make sure that you are actually taking the advice from this video, implementing it into your life, so that you can grow as a person and become the most confident version of yourself. Let's get into it. Number 1, start building your portfolio of proof. I want you to do something this week that will challenge one of your negative and limiting thoughts, whether it's posting a selfie without a filter, whether it's talking to a stranger, whether it's going out alone. Homework task number 2, draw out your confident life, not your confident appearance. So I want you to start thinking of energy shifts, places, people you could meet, things you could do, life experience you could have that is going to make you feel like that girl, rather than just looking like that girl. Going out and trying a new activity, taking up sport, taking up a painting class. Homework task number 3, write out a list of your insecurities and then beat them with logic. Firstly, where does it come from? We already know that these things are created. They are not inherently a part of us. Where did it come from? What did somebody say to you? And then I want you to consciously define what that insecurity is and how you can start using it to your advantage and loving it instead. There's links into homework task number 4. You can use the shadow work insecurity prompts that I have on the screen to figure out where these insecurities come from and then putting a solution to them. And the last homework task is to start being kinder to yourself. When you shift your lifestyle and you start doing nice things for yourself all the time, you just want to make sure that you always have the best day, then being insecure and criticizing yourself feels so unnatural in the life that you're living, it's gone. I would never critique myself. I'm out here buying myself flowers. I take myself on dates. All of a sudden, looking in a mirror and then trying to pick out flaws feels so unnatural to how I treat myself all day, every day. It just doesn't match up. I don't identify as the kind of person that is trying to chase approval from my family and friends. And you need to do the same. I want you to speak kind of words to yourself. I want you to do your affirmations. I want you to treat yourself. I want you to honor your needs. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. If you did, comment down below. Let me know what your favorite lesson was, because that's what helps me make these videos so much better. I appreciate you, and I hope you guys have the best week. Bye.